Hey everyone, today I'm here at the 2023 Singapore Criterium race where all the World Tour riders are here gathered for the Criterium race tomorrow. I've just completed my interview with Sepp Kuss from Team Visma. Some of you may know him. He is the Grand Tour winner of the Vuelta, so that really propelled his career all the way to the top. And we're going to get a bit of insight from him later throughout the interview. And first of all, I'd like to thank all my Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much for becoming a patron on my channel. If you guys are not, maybe if you want to head down to my Patreon and consider subscribing, which helps me produce all these videos for you. And please enjoy the rest of the interview. Thank you.
Any particular way you don't want to be photographed?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
All right. Have you been doing a lot of media interviews so far, or?
No, today's been pretty chill actually.
Pretty chill?
Yeah.
All right. Is that okay for you?
Yep.
All right. Yuva, are we okay? All right. I'm just going to sync everything.
Sepp Kuss, hand in hand with Jonas, Primoz across the line, seeing your wife, in-laws there, your mother, your father watching at home, Durango, Colorado, United States. How does this feel?
Yeah, it's a crazy feeling. It's still gonna take a while to sink in, and I knew it was possible, but still have to get through each day and survive and suffer. So just relieved and really happy.
We will, of course, have the American national anthem. Last played with Chris Horner, of course.
All right, Sepp, welcome to Singapore and welcome again. I've got a couple of questions for you that my viewers probably want to hear from you. Maybe I'll just start with Tour de France, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So in Tour de France stage 17, if you recall, where Pogacar was starting to drift back and he looks like he was losing the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was intentional or was it a bluff? And if you could get any discussions that you had with the team during that event.
Yeah, I think he was probably suffering a lot and just was at his limit. But yeah, when we heard on the radio that he was dropping, then we tried to accelerate even more. And yeah, eventually that day proved to be the big one of the big difference makers in the tour.
Right. Okay. And just moving on to the Vuelta, so that propelled your career right all the way to the top. And also in stage 17 in Angliru, if you remember, when your teammate Jonas Vingegaard and Primoz Roglic, they started taking off again up the road. What was going on in your mind at the time?
Not too much actually. I was just so focused on doing my best, and you have so many emotions in that moment, which are mostly just adrenaline and being so focused on the race. So in that moment, I was just focused on the suffering and getting to the finish as fast as possible. I knew they were just ahead of me, but it was also hard to see because it was so foggy. And I knew more or less what my lead was with the red jersey, but I knew if I wanted to keep it, I had to push all the way to the finish. Eventually I could hang on to it.
Yeah, right. And maybe I'll just take it a step back, maybe less of racing questions, but maybe on when you signed with Jumbo, how did they discover you? And rumor has it that you dropped some World Tour riders at stage 5 in the Tour of California back in 2017, if you remember. And was this the performance that Jumbo saw that made them eventually approach you? And maybe if you could tell us, how did they approach you? Was it simply via email, WhatsApp, or did they physically come and offer you the job?
It was, I think that year in the Tour of California, it was, one of the bigger races that we had in the US. Unfortunately, it's not around anymore, but with all the World Tour riders there, and that stage was one of the main uphill finishes to Mount Baldy, and I think on that stage I finished in the top 10. So I think it was quite a good result for a continental rider. and that's where they first took notice. Also on the last stage, it was a really short, hard stage, and I was able to bridge up to the breakaway, and that's where the director said he noticed my talent on that final stage, bridging up to the breakaway. And then it was actually at the after party of the race, just in the hotel bar, where I met Grisha, the director, who was at the race and is also one of the directors on the team that I work with the most in the races. And then that's where we started speaking and already had a good feeling from there. And eventually it took a while to actually sign with the team, but it started already there.
Right, so it all started at the Tour of California, and they found you. All right, and let's briefly talk about Primoz Roglic. And you were quoted, and I'm paraphrasing this. You said somewhere along the lines that you said, "I think it's better for everyone that Primoz is in a different team." Why do you think it's better that he's on a different team?
Yeah, I mean, for him, it's better for him personally that he has a team that's fully behind him to win the Tour and also other races. And also, I think it's good for cycling that let's say the talent is more distributed among different teams. Of course, it's nice when you're on a team with all the best riders, but I think it's good when there's strong rivals on every team, and that also, at least for me, brings me to a better level when there's other strong rivals that are on other teams rather than on your own team. Of course, we would always want him to be with us. He's one of the best riders in the world. He wins so many races. He's a guy that when you work for, that it's often for the win. But yeah, eventually there always comes a point where where you have to move on from something and either find something different or better. And I think for him, it's the best situation.
All right. And just switching back to the Tour de France, what is your role going to be for the 2024 Tour de France? Will you be a shadow GC rider, a co-leader, or will you be riding exclusively for Jonas Vingegaard?
Yeah, we have to see. I mean, I think it's a route that suits me really well. Probably better than this year. It's a lot of high mountains, long climbs, which is better for me. So of course I want to go there with ambitions, but I also realize that Jonas is the two-time defending champion, and when he's on his level, especially in the Tour, that he's not unstoppable, but he's showed the past 2 years that he's a level above the rest, and I realize that, and I would like to help him win a third Tour de France, but that can also be I can also help him while playing my own cards, and that also keeps me motivated.
Speaking of Jonas, I on my Instagram, someone asked a very funny question. Where is he today? And how come he's not into Tour de France? Someone said, is it because of the humidity of Singapore that he's not here tomorrow?
It could be. Maybe he had a bad experience in the humidity last year. No, yeah. But I spoke to him and he really wanted to come, but he's had so many commitments this winter and has to start thinking about next year already and the training. But he misses the environment of this trip in this city. Yeah,
and maybe on a personal level, on a more lighter scale, if you didn't become a pro cyclist, what do you think you'll be doing professionally right now?
I don't know really. It's hard to say. I mean, I have a university degree in advertising and communications, but I don't know necessarily if that's what I would
maybe you'll be wanting. A YouTuber.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my strength actually. Now that I've had that degree and I see what it really takes to be in that world, but I don't know. It's a difficult question.
Yeah. All right. And there's a world of a difference between a pro World Tour rider and a pro Continental rider. Why is there such a difference in performance between a World Tour rider and a Continental rider, in your opinion? What do you think makes the biggest difference?
Yeah, I think mainly it's just the level of competition. When you first start in the World Tour, you realize how deep the talent pool is, how hard the races are, and when you first start out, it's really hard to just immediately come to that level. And after a while, you get used to the style of the races, the speed of the racing, and then you eventually can make your career in the World Tour. But yeah, as a continental rider, you don't have those kind of races all throughout the season, so it takes you a while to come up to speed. The level of competition is just a bit lower as a result of that. So it's mainly just the experience of the different types of races.
All right, and obviously you're here for the Singapore Tour de France Criterium race. How do you think the race will play out tomorrow?
Oh, I think it's definitely a race for the sprinters, but at this time of year, everybody has a different level of fitness, so there can always be surprises. And it's small teams, so if it's raced tactically and there's less riders behind to keep the race under control, it can be a lot of surprises, I think.
What are your hobbies and interests outside of cycling?
Yeah, I like to cook, eat good food. Mountain biking. I like to work on bikes, like bike mechanics. Always spending time in the garage doing projects. Just traveling as well. Like that's also why I'm here, because I like to travel and see new places. Yeah,
you said you've been to Singapore before, and you like cooking and you enjoy the food. Any particular dish or type of food that you like in Singapore, if you can remember?
Yeah, I think the Singapore kind of fusion style, because it brings a lot of flavors that I like. It kind of has some Indian, some spicy, some seafood, like a chili crab, things like that.
Oh, chili crab, yeah.
Really, really nice. Yeah.
All right. And last question, what are your plans for the 2024 season?
I don't know exactly the specifics yet, but I think the tour is a route that I really like, and of course going to the Vuelta as the defending champion would be really, really motivating. So I think those would be my main objectives, but I still have to sit down with the team and see what the plan will be.
Okay. And maybe just on a more local flavor. Sorry, I know that was the last question.
No worries.
I'm not sure if you've seen the bikes here in Singapore. So I interview a lot of people, Singaporean cyclists, and they have really fancy bikes.
Yeah,
you got a Dogma F with, Blink Dura Ace group set. What do you think of our bikes here?
Yeah. We were in a van with some of the riders going to an event this morning, and we saw a bunch of riders, and we said, wow, they all have really nice, they all have, their bikes are nicer than ours. But yeah, it just shows the cycling culture here that everybody appreciates good bikes, good equipment, and that's also part of cycling. Getting excited about the different gear, the new technology, the brands, and it's nice to see that the people here appreciate that, and I hope they enjoy their nice bikes.
Yeah, Sepp, thank you so much for your time. I know you've got a very busy day, and good luck for the race tomorrow. Can we get a round of applause for Sepp? Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Can we get a photo? Yeah. Oh yeah, if we have time. Do we have time?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. All right, Sepp, we've got your Cervelo here. Maybe if you want to give us a run through. Sorry, can we just flip it the other way around? Yeah. You want to have a seat so we can just get them audio? All right. Yeah. If you want to run us through your bike.
Yeah, so this is the Cervelo S5, which is the Aero model. It's a perfect bike for the kind of course we have in the Singapore Criterium tomorrow. It's a super fast bike. You can see the Aero handlebars and as well as the more Aero frame. With the group set, the SRAM group set, always good gear ratios. Even if you have, let's say, a bit of a smaller chainring, you have the 10 tooth on the cassette, and that makes a big difference if you just need that little extra gear. Speed play pedals, they're really, really light, really low stack height, so you can bring your whole cockpit lower, and that makes it more aerodynamic. Physique saddle, really, really comfortable. You just want to be comfortable. That's important.
Yeah.
Vittoria tires, always good, whether it's wet or dry. So I think in Singapore, this morning it was raining a bit, and then it's dry, might rain again. So yeah, you're always ready for any condition. And then those tires on the reserve wheels, they're really, really wide rims, so you get good rolling resistance, stiffness, but you also have even more grip because the wide rim kind of creates a larger contact with the tire.
Right, and we see a saddlebag here with a pump. What's in your saddlebag?
All the essentials. In my saddlebag, I always have 2 tubes, 2 CO2 or a pump, some what do you call it? Tire
Levers?
No, like
those puncture
things with little bacon strips. Multi-tool. Pretty much everything you would need in case something happens.
Yeah. Are you? What's the tire pressure that you're running on your front and back?
Around 80 psi. So
I run clinchers on 110 psi on 25C. What do you think of that? Is it way too high or?
No, I think it's okay. I mean, it's all what you're used to. It depends a lot on the tire rim interface. I really like tubeless tires, the feel of it. So then with tubeless you can run a lot lower, but with a narrower tire, then it's going to feel a bit strange if you have a bit too low of pressure. Yeah. So then it makes sense that you would run a bit higher.
And sometimes we see on the mountain stages, some riders ride an aero bike. Is there a specific reason why they choose an aero bike?
Yeah, it depends on the rider and where they need to, let's say, do their job. For me, I prefer the climbing bike on real mountain stages. But the aero bike, it's especially this model, the S5, it's still really light. If you run it in a climbing setup, it's almost as light as the climbing bike, and you have the aero advantages.
Yeah. All right. This is a lovely bike. Wish I could own one, but unfortunately, I'm not a pro rider. I'm just a weekend rider. But Sepp, thank you so much again, and have a pleasant time in Singapore, and good luck for the race.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
They'll be calling me royalty.